Hey everybody, Avery here, and today I am doing a speed paint with watercolor of Yellow Pearl, and this is a collab with DrawingwithHeyItsMeNat. She did Blue Pearl, and it is really pretty, so y'all should really go check it out. I will leave her YouTube and maybe her Instagram in the description below. I'm just saying maybe Instagram because I'm not sure if I can get the link to her Instagram. But if not, I'll just put the name of it. This took me a span of 2 days, probably about 2 hours, like I worked on it an hour one day and an hour the next. At first, the first day I was using a water brush, but then the second day I just used a regular brush because the water brush just wasn't really working out for me, so I just used a smaller regular brush. And that water brush is the Kurotaki brush, so I got it in an Arts Max and I really like it. It was really hard for me to mix all of the different yellows because it was all yellow. So I ended up just using mostly one color and adding different yellows to it. And I also used this peachy color to do it. And a bunch of the shots are recorded at different angles because my tripod got moved around, so that's why. I messed up on the color for her mostly her skin because I made it too dark and not light enough, and her like stockings or whatever, like the things that are around her legs, like her socks or whatever, I made those too dark also. And the colors that I used, or the types of paint that I used, was watercolor, but the brands that I used were Daler and Rowney, and I used Winsor & Newton's yellow, lemon yellow, so. I know that this is right in the middle of my season series, Seasons in Paint, but me and Nat really wanted to do a collab together, so that's why we're doing it now. And I thought it would be good to do it kind of like right in the middle of both of them, so y'all could have a little bit of a break of the painting. But next week, and hopefully the week after, will be summers and spring. If you see any really long breaks of my hand, of me not painting, that's me mixing colors because I didn't pause the video taping. The pose that I did for Yellow Pearl was I wanted her to have like a really smug look because that's basically what she is just a smug thing. So, and this is the next day where I'm using just a regular brush and everything has dried, so that's why I'm putting new layers on top. So I forgot to mention that I'm not doing this on watercolor paper and that I'm just doing this in my sketchbook. So that's probably why it doesn't look the greatest on the sketchbook, and also on the page under it, there's graphite, so it kind of bled through a little bit, but I don't think it's that bad. I tried to do Pearl like in my style instead of the Steven Universe style because I thought it would be better for the thing. Her little like fluffy things like on her shoulders were really fun to draw just because it was just so squiggly and stuff. And here for her like actual clothes part, I did at first a peachy color and then I went over it with more yellow. And right about coming up, my tripod kind of got all messed up, so I had to do that. So I had to fix it, so that's why it's all weird. And then her shoes are like a super bright yellow, so that was like the brightest part of this whole piece was her shoes. And now I'm just adding more shadows. And I am still adding more shadows, but then later I use my kind of like pearlescent watercolors to add some shiny yellow to the whole thing. Her eyes are like a really dark yellow, so I did almost like an orange-ish yellow. I haven't used watercolor in a long time, even though I did. It's only been like a week since I've used watercolor almost on a daily basis, but oh, and now I'm using a sticky note because I didn't have any paper towels. So yeah, I was doing this without paper towels, so I used a sticky note to get some of the moisture off. So now I'm using the shiny watercolors, and when it gets on her legs, you'll be really able to see it. And I used the shiny watercolors to first put yellow for her gem. I first put yellow, and then I kind of picked up some of that with a sticky note. And then I used the white. I used them white to make it more because her gem is more white, like a really white, if that makes any sense. You can see how the light's reflecting off of it where the shiny metallic is. I really love using my shiny metallic watercolors to do accents on all my watercolor pieces. And now I am lining it, and it took me like 6 minutes to line this little thing. So I was going really slow because I didn't want to mess it up. But I did mess it up because on her hand that's under her chin, I messed up on the fingers. So when I ink, I do it like really sporadically because sometimes I do, first I kind of start out with like the face, and then if I do the face, sometimes I go like, oh, nope, I want to do the legs now or whatever. So it's really sporadic when I ink. And to ink, I'm just using a Sharpie pen because I wanted it all to be the same width because that's kind of how the show's style is. And now that I'm doing her hand, you can see on the pinky, I just totally messed up on there, so. And where her shoulder is, under her little like frilly thing on her shoulders, I did kind of like a dotted line since it's under that. And while I was doing this, if you watched my last video with the winter portrait, I was listening to Hamilton because I kind of did this right after I finished that. So of course I was listening to Hamilton and singing to it. If you go to my Instagram, sometimes I do live streams, and the last one I did, I basically just sung the Hamilton the whole time, so. But I also do art, don't worry, I also do art. I don't know why I did the mouth like really last. That doesn't make any sense, but I don't know why I did the mouth last. I just did. And here is a close-up of Yellow Pearl. I hope you like it. Bye!